into land.
We shall chop off all your limbs.
His wooden leg made a thump, thump, thump on the deck as he...
Be whoever you need to be with Vital Women, expertly formulated to meet the modern woman's nutritional needs.
Go for gold with Vital Gold, the ultimate A to Z multivitamin and mineral.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso right here on SABC3. Now, I know a lot of questions out there on Facebook. People want to know exactly what caused the fire downstairs. We're not exactly sure. It is still under investigation, and when we find out, we will tell. So we don't know right now. But on to the important stuff. We want to talk about today that the fact that research has been done to show that ADHD can actually be treated by your diet, not just your medicine and the therapy that you go through, but that dietary functions actually are very important when it comes to controlling and treating ADHD. And Andrea from Vital is here to tell us all about that, as she always does. Good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
Lovely, lovely. Good to have you here as always. As always, you've brought a whole myriad of foods here that I'm thinking I'm going to have to taste. But
well, luckily not. Tomorrow we're baking some muffins with apple and walnuts for concentration for children, and just trying to explain or illustrate the principles that we want to discuss today. And you know, with attention deficit disorder and hyperactivity, or ADHD, or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, there are so many different theories and ways of treatment, etc. And especially with diet, people have been very focused on trying to eliminate absolutely all sugar, colorants, flavorants, preservatives, etc.
Yeah.
But if you look at foods like this, which is basically whole foods, it's not always practical for kids to eat like that. So researchers have now found an interesting trend. They've seen that it's difficult to stick to, or difficult for parents and children to always manage the diet absolutely free from preservatives and colorants and all of that. Obviously, that's something that you would strive towards, but then there's parties and, you know, life happens.
And of course, you've got to have, you know, your children have fun and be able to lead a normal life as well. Hey?
So that's still important, they say, but the other thing is that many children are on Ritalin. And I often see that with people that are using, let's say, cholesterol medication. As soon as they know they're on medication for their cholesterol, they're not really so concerned about what they eat anymore. And the same with ADHD. I've often seen that also, that children that are undergoing that treatment, the medication specifically controlling concentration, there's less emphasis on the diet, and then there's cola, drinks and sweets and things because it's under control.
Yeah.
But the researchers say that just a normal healthy diet is very important. And one of the things that they need to look at is, obviously, like I said, still try and reduce sugar intake and refined carbohydrates and colorants, etc. But to work in low GI foods into the diet, and also the omegas.
Which, of course, I mean, low GI foods, we know, are those that are slow in energy releasing.
That's correct, yes.
So when we look at that kind of food group, what exactly are we looking at? What kind of foods are they?
Yes, if you look at the low GI food group, a good breakfast option that we would like to focus on is a muesli. Specifically, the Vital muesli has been tested to be low GI. So if your child has that for breakfast, it will give them energy soon after that breakfast, but also sustain through the morning for concentration. And then obviously tomorrow we'll be baking with this product. And then the other foods that tend to have a very low GI are your pulses, lentils and beans. So I promise we'll have some yummy, interesting recipes.
Yummy being
children,
the operative word.
Yes, that you can try. Where we work in these ingredients without them really being evidently in the dish.
Yes.
And dairy products are also fantastic. Milk, yogurt, and then we've got a bit of rice here. Basmati rice in particular is low glycemic index. And then vegetables, obviously, we always have some vegetables here because the vitamins and minerals are so important.
Now, of course, it's always about the content or the nutrients in the food that plays a role in helping or treating the disorder, like in this case. Now, I'm always concerned, like, for instance, you have your carrots, you have your mushrooms. These are foods that you cook.
Yes.
So are these particular nutrients sensitive to the heat such that if you do cook them or overcook them, that you would lose that part of the benefit?
Yes, to a great extent. If you look at fruits and vegetables, the more you can eat raw, the better, because in general those nutrients are in optimal levels in the raw state. When we cook vegetables, some of the nutrients are depleted or absorbed into the water if it's boiled or steamed, even if it's steamed sometimes. But that's why we do those interesting little veggie wraps and things with raw veg that are tasty. So it's all about adding extra flavour and different ways of presenting it, and especially that's so important with children. So this year we're going to focus a lot on super healthy recipes for children, but that are tasty too. And tomorrow we start that. So good
tomorrow
luck.
I can't wait
don't
to be the guinea pig. But so cheese as well, of course, a very easy treat for moms to pack into lunchboxes. Yeah?
And you'll see that is the uncoloured cheddar. So they say with the colourants, try and reduce the use of foods that are brightly coloured, you know. So cheese as part of the dairy group, low glycemic index, so that's a wonderful snack. You can put little mini cheeses into the lunch boxes. Obviously, a little container of yogurt is excellent. And then milk with muesli, or milk being drunk just as a health beverage.
Lovely.
Yes.
Andrea, as always, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. I want to say the article that I'm referring to where they did research, I've just posted on my Facebook page.
Oh, wow.
So if people want to know more, they can go to my Facebook.
And actually read the entire article.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And of course, the Facebook page is Andrea du Plessis, Vital Expert on Facebook. You can check that out. Speaking about Facebook, this morning we posted up a question wanting to know who would you rather have on the show cooking their dish, Ewan or Liesel tomorrow? Because it's a whole toss-up of different dishes. They're going to tell you more about that right now.
Stay with eXpresso and SABC3.